Hello, this is Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. My co-host, Bill Morton, president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, cannot be here with us today. I am Trudy Leong, administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. Our very special guest today is Yidi Wang. She is an artist, a designer, and also an educator. Welcome, Yidi.
Thank you so much, Trudy. Hi, everyone. I am Yidi. I'm an artist, and I also work at Chicago Center for Arts and Technology as an instructor and educator.
And the funny thing is, the institute is right next door to CAN TV.
Yeah, it only takes me like 2 minutes to walk from my workplace to CAN TV.
Well, could you tell us a little bit about why art and expression? You seem to be very multi-talented. Why art and expression?
Yeah, so actually growing up in China, I actually moved into Chicago when I was 23. So it's like 2021 when I'm here for my grad school. But before that, I'm actually a science student, and my major in undergrad was industrial design. So basically, I never trained as a traditional art student. I never learned how to paint. But when I first got my master here, and the first semester, I saw the first performance art in my entire life.
What performance was that?
I only remember that was a really famous Japanese performer. I actually don't remember the long artist statement and everything, but I do remember I cried when I was watching the show. So I do remember how my feelings are when I was inside the space. Mm-hmm. And later on, I started to feel art is actually a powerful language for expressing your feelings, your unfolded story through your body, through your brush paint, through acrylic, even through like digital art. So I started to pick it up, this language. I'm like, I wanted to do that because I don't want it to be a designer anymore. I don't want to serve for my customers. I actually wanted to do something with my own voice inside of it and read the whole world, just like I'm reading other people's art. So I guess that's how I started to pick it up as a common language for myself, and also a common language for me to understand how this world it is and how other people around this world, and building up the bridges between me, myself, and the whole world.
So when you learn about art, do your teachers also mention that language, art is a language?
I don't think so. It's like they know it. Mm-hmm. The artists in Art Institute, they all know that it's a language because that is how we communicate with each other. Because I know a lot of students when they came to the U.S. studying art, they might not speak English, but you can still understand them somehow. Like the first performance art I have ever seen in my whole life, the Japanese performer, I don't know about Japanese, and actually she doesn't speak very good English, but I can still understand her feeling. And I always remember her eyes. It's just so deep. It could just see through from your eyes. So I guess that's how I feel about it. Yeah.
Did she have to put makeup on her eyes, or was the expression just coming out of her eyes?
Actually, performance have a lot of different format, like performance art we're talking about. We're talking about conceptual performance art. So in conceptual performance art, a lot of performance doesn't show up as opera or stage. They show up more like a slow body behavior and motion that makes you feel like weird somehow, if I say that right. So she didn't have any makeup on. She was only wearing this pure white dress, and I'm pretty sure that's not a new dress. It's pretty old. Mm-hmm. But her body has such powerful thing that can just turn over your head. So I do remember when I see through her eyes, there's nothing, but there's experience and also how she understands about life and the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have an exhibit at the Chinese American Museum of Chicago called Belonging. So did that exhibit, and belonging, is that related at all to the Japanese performer that you, artist performer that you saw?
Actually, no. None of it is like actually attached, but I always can like understand she as kind of like my mentor through performance, because I consider myself as a performance artist. Even though I know you went to the museum, the show wasn't looks performance. It was look pretty like sculptural installation, because recently after I graduated from school, I started to transfer performance art into sculptural installation. So instead of putting my body in the present, I try to put my body being objectified, like the audience. So instead of actually doing a live performance, having interaction with audience coming in, I want me myself as the same as the audience. So when you walk into space, you see the installation and you saw them, you feel my body, but physically I'm not there. So I wouldn't say like not related at all, but I would say I inspired by her a little bit, especially how I play with body and space.
Because it took me a little while before I understood what I was looking at. And could you describe to us why belonging? Did you have an experience with not belonging that caused you to decide that your message will be belonging through art?
Actually, this is a wonderful question, Trudy. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's actually the core and the heart of my work, because of a lot of feelings that are non-belongings. I came, so to explain that, I would say I grew up in a traditional Chinese family. So, my parents have high expectation towards me. I need to be this perfect daughter. I need to be having perfect GPA. I need to be perfect in any field. I need to do anything like a good student. So I run away from it because I don't feel like those expectations belongs to me. But when I actually got here in Chicago, I don't feel belonging too, because I'm far away from my home. I'm far away from my familiar language. I'm far away from my friends, for all the people that I have known in entire life. I'm in a totally like out of nowhere that I don't know how to like open my whole world about. So I don't belong here either. And that is the time that I started to realize actually what does belonging means to me. Like, does it mean that I need to find more Chinese friends? Does it mean that I need to have more Chinese food? None of these are. It's pretty complicated. It's like, if you saw my work, you might saw there are a lot of things talking about motherhood, talking about my relationship between me and my mother. I think that's like pretty much the same when we're talking about motherhood. Like, if I'm a daughter, do I belong to her? She do give me birth, but I'm already a separate person. But if I don't belong to her, we do have this invisible, vulnerable relationship between each other. So
A bond.
yeah. So this kind of belonging is the thing that I wanted to talk about, and I choose to use belonging to give it title because I feel like this word gives me more safety and security. I guess a lot of time my insecurity is from not belongings or unbelongings. So yeah.
Yeah, there's always that struggle. We've heard a lot about the international students coming, and then the expectations of their parents are still so high back in the homeland, and then over here it's very, very difficult. It's all strange. However, you had a lot of recordings too. So who made those recordings? Who were the speakers in those recordings, and what were they saying?
Thank you for this question. Actually, all those recordings are me.
Oh.
There's only one. I don't know if you noticed. There's I think the total there are 8 of them. So all this mini MP3 player speakers. They're put into the silicone pocket, and all of them are speaking some journals that I wrote out to my mother. So something with guilt, something with love, something also with angry, because I feel like there are invisible inheritance she brought it to me with this mother-daughter dynamic. It's about the silence, the sacrifice she made with this patriarchy world, or the stuff that she feels about, and all belongings and inherited on my body. So I choose to speak from them, and then I wrote it like into different poems. So there's only one Chinese one. I don't know if you remember that. That one is actually not me, myself. It was an interview that I had 2 years ago with one of my friends. She has her own kid, but she's a queer artist right now.
Oh,
So-
acrylic?
A queer artist.
A queer artist, okay.
Yes. So she actually experienced this transformation. I was keep asking her about, do you think pregnancy is a sacrifice? I was trying to confirm with her. Like, I want you to say yes, that pregnancy is sacrifice. That is why the reason my mom did it to her. So I wanted to like confirm with that. But that is because I feel angered about all this emotional heritage my mom gave it to me, even though that's all because she loved me. So it's like pretty
Exactly.
complicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking your mom really loves you, but she has these high expectations of you that are very crushing.
Yeah.
When you so all the recordings and the images, the sculptures, did you have a recording of it somehow in some form and sent it to your mom so that she could take a look at it and give you her take on what she thought about it?
I don't think so. I'm still a little bit scared about directly talking with her about all this kind of like emotional feeling that I've been through. Because a lot of traditional Chinese parents, they don't believe in therapy. They don't believe in you were actually feeling wrong with what we treated with you. So I understand where she come from, and I think it's good that we're having distance right now somehow. Because we have FaceTime, but she will not blame me that much because we're far away. I don't think I'll open up to her right now, but maybe one day in the future I'll open up all of the pieces that I made because of her or because of me. Yeah.
So after you, how you felt before as you were making the exhibit, after you finished putting up the exhibit versus now, what has changed for you?
What has changed for me? My friends were joking about me. They're like, Yidi, I think your art is like your therapy. Every time you make a show, every time you make a new work, it's like you receive a therapy. Kind of yes, actually. Like sometimes when this kind of, I said this invisible anger, the guilt that I'm disconnected from my parents, but they've been putting too much on my body, but now I didn't go back home for 4 years. This kind of guilty and everything composed together sometimes gives me too much pressure and I can't take it. So I would say making all these art and spread off my voice, it's a way to like doing art therapy for myself. So after one time, I feel more peace. And also I feel happy because I have a lot of audience when they come into the museum and saw my piece and come talking and having discussion with me like, hey, I've been through the same thing with you and I don't know how to open up the question. And we know it is what it is, but I want us to be seen. And I was just using this art piece to let us to be seen.
So Yidi, when like artists, I would think that a lot of artists' work is actually art therapy. It's something that they're, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I do. I do feel that way because we're not talking about like the traditional classic art, like the Christianity art. We're not talking about all these art making like the world has been turned off because of the art. We're talking about the art we're seeing right now. A lot of people are creating art because they have their unfolded story and no one is listening to them, but they want it to be seen by the whole world, so they make the art. And like I said, art is a beautiful language and powerful language. You don't need to understand the language itself to understand the art. So a lot of people using art as a therapy way because when you see the people have the same feeling with you, you definitely feel like more peace and comfortable when you feel like the group of yourself has been seen by the world.
And now modern art, there's so many tools for modern art, such as 3D painting, 3D printing. So did you use 3D printing for your installation?
Yeah, I do actually. Before my master in School of the Art Institute of Chicago, I was actually an industrial designer. So my main media is using 3D art. And I've never been trained like a traditional art student, so I don't know how to draw. So I would say like 3D and digital art would be my draft. So I always come up my ideas at 3D, and it's like pretty like smooth and convenient for me to print them out to see how it looks like. I'm pretty familiar with different material for 3D printing, like PLA, the plastic, or the one that I'm using for this exhibition, resin. I was using 3D printed resin. So it's transparent. It has almost this clinical feeling. So it feels pretty post-humanism, like kind of like blur the line between organic and manufacture. That's also the reason why I think I love 3D printed, because it let me to blur that line between it.
Because let's let the audience know there are actually 7 vaginas in for your installation, and I didn't want to touch it because I'm afraid that I might like maybe the grease on my hands might harm something, but I didn't want to feel how what it felt like, and so when you decided on that resin, why did you decide on that? And the colors, were they weren't actually flesh colored, but why that color too?
Yeah. So the stuff you were talking about is actually silicone.
Ah.
Yeah. These are not 3D printed, but the reason why you feel like it's flash is because all those silicones inside the exhibition or inside my work, all casted from my own body.
Oh.
So I basically lie down on the ground, pour the silicone on my body. When it's cured, I peeled it off.
Wow.
like my skin. I did make that color happen, but the texture, it's the silicone itself.
Oh.
So it looks pretty skin-like. It looks pretty human-like too. And that's what I want. It's like I said, I want my body to inside the space, but not physically present.
So so each of the 7 ones are different modes. So there are actually seven different. They're all 7 are different because of course it would never be the same.
Yeah, they are actually casting from different parts of my body. Some of them comes from my back. Some of them comes from my thigh. Some of them comes from my wrist. Or some of them comes from my knees. So it's like different parts of my body.
Okay.
And like when you peel it off, it will look like a surface, like a fabric. But it looks pretty flash. And then I hand sew them together. Like when you're doing a surgery.
Okay. So they're not. So they're all different kind of body parts then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, because I was like mesmerized with all the speaking too. So yeah, but it was very interesting.
Thank you.
And then and it's huge too.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole room.
Yeah, it's also because of the audio. I initially make it like that. So when you walk into the space, it automatically started to like speaking my voice. Somehow, a lot of audience feel overlapped too. They feel like, oh, this is too annoying. Someone literally said that to me. I'm like, actually, this is what I want. I want you guys to feel a little bit uncomfortable because that's how you feel about a lot of intimate relationship. The relationship between mother, the intimate even relationship between your original family. It could be vulnerable and uncomfortable sometimes. So that kind of feeling is what I want the audience to have.
Right, because it seems as if when you were talking on the recording, it seemed we could feel the conflict, and then and it was kind of like a struggle to resolve the conflict as well.
Yeah. It's you can even hear like the noise of the electricity somehow.
Wow. And where did that electricity come from? The noise
Because
from...
of the wires.
Oh.
Because I didn't cover it at all. So, and the mini speakers are too tiny. So even though it's displaying the audio that I recorded, you can still hear the, the electricity is running and everything. So it's like pretty much overlapped in that whole room. That's also, I think a lot of people telling me they feel a little bit overwhelmed in that space. And I guess that's my point.
So was that intention? It was intentional, but were you modeling it after the body? The human body is all electrical impulses affecting everything else.
Yeah.
So is that why you had that electricity in there? The sound.
Yeah, and also the wires all being nude, all being exposed without cover is also because.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it's all feels like islands attached to each other.
Oh.
But they're all attached to this charging station. And I feel like that's how my relationship between Chicago and China too.
Oh.
So even though I'm right here, but I also feel isolated somehow, and I feel like I still belong to that motherland, and I never left there. It's also the same feeling that I feel about my mother, that I never left her.
Right. So what was your inspiration to use a body part for this? Let's just start at the beginning. How you decided on body parts being exhibited.
Yeah, because I'm a performance artist. Body is one of my main, strongest media. I see body just like the painters using their brushes and acrylic. So this is a powerful language to me. Even though I transfer it into sculpture and installation, but I still want my body to be there. So the whole installation is pretty performative. That's why I choose those material that looks like body and flesh, and it does have the skin texture of myself to represent me myself, as even though I standing in that space and I watch all these body parts, it's like me myself staring my heart from the outside, like an objectified person, like the audience. So that's how my initial points wanted to be. I want myself have another perspective towards all my body and more all my movements.
So you wanted to be in the audience too. You yourself being in the audience and gazing upon yourself.
Yes, I did. Yeah, that's how I wanted to be. So when I walk into that space, I'm like all of you guys. I feel the same with you guys. So I be pretty objectified towards my body parts somehow.
So what have you learned? We don't have much time, but tell us what you learned from this installation.
Well, I do feel ashamed when I first finished this installation. I feel ashamed to share my story. I feel ashamed to share, this is the exhibition about me and my mother. This is too intimate. Nobody want to hear it. It's too much. But a lot of audience reflect to me that they actually love me talking about it because they feel more common. They have common feeling towards it. And they also feel like if I can talk about it, they can also talk about it. So I do help people about it, and I do help myself to actually say that I will not be ashamed about talking about intimate relationship. So I guess that's how I learned the most important classes. Not only through art, but also through my life.
And you are an educator too.
Yeah.
So are you using this experience to teach your students as well?
Well, I do really encourage my students to use art, no matter what kind of media they're using, to express their own voice and their own identity, to blend their own story inside of it. Do not care about who's gonna read it, who's gonna see it in the future. You are your audience yourself, so you should be proud of yourself and really use your voice in that. And that's how I always educated my students.
So I guess you're using your voice in art, but before for design, did you have a little bit of your voice in design as well?
Not really.
No, it's more,
it's more towards like customer needs and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if our viewers want to learn more about you, Yidi Wang, where should they go?
You guys should visit my website. It will be super easy. It will be www.yidiwang.art. Yeah, and you guys can all find me there.
Okay. Well, Yidi Wang, thank you so much for joining us on Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. On behalf of Bill Morton, I am Trudy Leong, Administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, and thank you so much for watching. We will see you again next week.